The Palestinian National Authority is the interim self-government body that exercises partial civil control over the Gaza Strip and 167 islands in the West Bank known as Areas A and B. Established as a consequence of the 1993-95 Oslo Accords. Following elections in 2006 and the subsequent Gaza conflict between the Fatah and Hamas parties, its authority had extended only in Areas A and B of the West Bank. Since January 2013, the Fatah-controlled Palestinian Authority uses the name, State of Palestine, on official documents. The Palestinian Authority was formed in 1994, pursuant to the Gaza-Jericho Agreement between the Palestine Liberation Organization. The remainder of the territories, including Israeli settlements, the Jordan Valley region and bypass roads between Palestinian communities, were to remain under Israeli control intifada. In 2005, after the Second Intifada, Israel withdrew unilaterally from its settlements in the Gaza Strip, thereby expanding Palestinian Authority control to the entire Strip while Israel continued to control the crossing points, airspace, and the waters of the Gaza Strip's coast. In the Palestinian legislative elections on the 25th of January 2006, Hamas emerged victorious and nominated Ismail Haniyeh as the authority's prime minister. However, the National Unity Palestinian government effectively collapsed when a violent conflict between Hamas and Fatah erupted, mainly in the Gaza Strip. After the Gaza Strip was taken over by Hamas on the 14th of June 2007, the authority's chairman Mahmoud Abbas dismissed the Hamas-led unity government and appointed Salam Fayyad as prime minister, dismissing Haniyeh. The move wasn't recognized by Hamas, thus resulting in two separate administrations, the Fatah-led Palestinian Authority in the West Bank and a rival Hamas government in the Gaza Strip. The reconciliation process to unite the Palestinian governments achieved some progress over the years, but had failed to produce a reunification. The PA received financial assistance from the European Union and the United States. All direct aid was suspended on the 7th of April 2006. As a result of the Hamas victory in parliamentary elections, shortly thereafter, aid payments resumed, but were channeled directly to the offices of Mahmoud Abbas in the West Bank. Since the 9th of January 2009, when Mahmoud Abbas' term as president was supposed to have ended and elections were to have been called, Hamas supporters and many in the Gaza Strip have withdrawn recognition for his presidency and instead consider Aziz Dweik, the Speaker of the Palestinian Legislative Council, to be the acting president until new elections can be held. The State of Palestine has become recognized by 138 nations and since November 2012. The United Nations voted to recognize the State of Palestine as a non-member UN observer state. The Palestinian Authority was created by the Gaza-Jericho Agreement, pursuant to the 1993 Oslo Accords. The Gaza-Jericho Agreement was signed on 4 May 1994 and included Israeli withdrawal from the Jericho area and partially from the Gaza Strip, and detailed the creation of the Palestinian Authority and the Palestinian Civil Police Force. The PA was envisioned as an interim organization to administer a limited form of Palestinian self-governance in the areas A and B in the West Bank and Gaza Strip for a period of 5 years, during which final status negotiations would take place. The Palestinian Central Council, itself acting on behalf of the Palestine National Council of the PLO, implemented this agreement in a meeting convened in Tunis from 10 to the 11th of October 1993, making the Palestinian Authority accountable to the PLO Executive Committee. The administrative responsibilities accorded to the PA were limited to civil matters and internal security and did not include external security or foreign affairs. Palestinians in the diaspora and inside Israel were not eligible to vote in elections for the offices of the Palestinian Authority. The PA was legally separate from the Palestine Liberation Organization, which continues to enjoy international recognition as the sole legitimate representative of the Palestinian people, representing them at the United Nations under the name Palestine. General elections were held for its first legislative body, the Palestinian Legislative Council, on the 20th of January 1996. The expiration of the body's term was the 4th of May 1999. But elections were not held because of the prevailing coercive situation. On the 7th of July 2004, the Quartet of Middle East Mediators informed Ahmad Kurey, Prime Minister of the PA from 2003 to 2006, that they were sick and tired of the Palestinians' failure to carry out promised reforms. If security reforms are not done, there will be no international support and no funding from the international community. On the 18th of July 2004, United States President George W. Bush stated that the establishment of a Palestinian state by the end of 2005 was unlikely due to instability and violence in the PA.